Hello, fellow YouTubers. This is Mr. Music Fan here, uh, ready to start my At the Drive-In discography series. So very sorry for the long wait. You would not believe you would not believe the bunch of crap that I had to go through just to get these reviews. I was originally going to film both the Hell Paso EP and the Alfaro Vive Carajo EP in one review, but that because of time constraints, that didn't work out so well, and the rest of the other attempts that I tried doing it was just really crazy. So for now, I'm just going to review both the EPs separately, and I'll film them back to back. And so so yeah. Also, a friend of mine who happened to have seen my introduction review suggested, excuse me, that I should script my reviews for now because I'm not used to talking in front of a I'm of course I'm used to talking in front of a camera, but I'm not used to reviewing stuff online. So for now, I'm gonna write scripts for my reviews. So my apologies if I sound too mechanical, but I hope to get better as my reviews go on. So shout out to Wawa Girl 717 for that tip. Thanks a lot. You're awesome. So now let's get talking to about Hell Paso and and basically the sound of Hell Paso. It's really reflective of the band's early days, their beginnings around 1994. Oh, speaking of which, first released in 1994. And so Jim Ward and Cedric Bixler Zavala came from two other bands before they formed At the Drive-In. And so right away, what you get apparently with this EP is that they have that both musicians have really different influences. Jim kind of comes out with with more of like a pop sensibility, and he comes out with a pop structure or a pop sensibility, and Cedric comes in with a almost a punk hardcore background. So so with El Paso, you kind of get these two conjoined together, and for many other bands, that could really spell like a huge number of doom. Like it could spell doomsday for a band. But for Cedric and Jim, they managed to kind of refine the positive strengths of those two different musical influences, and they managed to they then managed to create a different kind of like sound with both the melding of these influences. It creates a sort of melodic hardcore sound. It's kind of like, say, punk rock, but with a melody behind it. So this really made them unique out of the rest of the other bands of the El Paso music scene. And and the sounds of these songs are still in its infancy. They are still in need of refinement at this point because they had just started out. But you can already tell in this EP that the energy and the sheer passion of the performances is very apparent in this EP. The melding of both their influences creates the sheer energy and sincerity in the recordings, even though it's still their early stages, they're still amateurish with it. So, but the energy is still apparent. So, I mean, like, there's three songs in the EP. There's Grand Mox Trukin, which is a reference to a Star Wars character, Red Planet, and Emptiness is a Mule. Um, so since this is an EP single, I technically don't have a most favorite or least favorite track on this EP. But if I have to pick out a favorite, then it has to be "Emptiness Is a Mule" because the lyrics really reflect a little bit of darkness. Because in the previous two tracks, it's a little it's punky, it's upbeat a little bit, but it's not as heavy, or you know it's not as hardcore as their future releases are going to take. But that song really kind of like suggests that musical and lyrical maturity that they would undertake in their future releases. Okay, almost time. So let's get down to the 3-point grading system, which consists of musical originality, songwriting, and the package as a whole, the EP as a whole. So first off, the music and the sound of Hell Paso, you know, is the band recording onto a cassette tape. So because of that, you are bound to get like a really low quality sound, and yet that low quality production on it, because they were just starting out, and apparently they also funded the EP's recording with Jim Ward's college money. It gives the songs defining character as young as they are, and as infant as their sound is, as their style is at this point, at this beginning point. It really defines their character, and it really points ahead to what they'll do. So on the package as a whole, like I'll give it a 3 out of 5 points, which is really good for an EP. So now onto the songwriting. Again, like its sound, they had just started out. They are just refining their skill. They're refining their their talents and whatnot. So, but like its sound, there's a lot of growth, a lot of room for potential in their songwriting. But that being said, for a band who just started out, it is still decent songwriting, and so so the lyric, I give the lyrics a 3 out of 5. The songwriting, 3 out of 5, which is a good score. And so now the EP as a whole, um, this is a really rare release. This release almost is at times is really strictly for hardcore at the drive-in fans, like. And but that being said, that since it's such a rarity in their catalog, you know it gives you a great documentation of where they started out, but where did they begin their successful, even though not commercially, but influentially, they began their successful, influential career. And so that's what this EP presents. It presents them starting out, and it suggests where they're going, where they're going to go in their influential future with their later releases. So as a whole, it gets a 3 out of 5 stars. Really decent EP release. So sorry this video was a little long, and sorry this took such a long time, but I hope you guys found this informative. I hope you find this entertaining. And this is Mr. Music Fan signing out. See you guys later.